Hello, everybody. Welcome to National Annual Meeting, Day 2. A lot of very cool and exciting announcements coming out of today's meeting. You might be hearing some hubbub. You'll be able to check in on that in just a second. We're here in the exhibitor hall again. We got to do a wonderful tour of the hall yesterday. Be sure to check out that live video. Today, we also welcomed Devang Desai as the new National Commissioner for Scouting America. Very exciting. If you want to learn more about Devang's background, you can check out the Aaron on Scouting post on that. We also got to hear from David Montgomery, who's an NFL player and Scouting America's spokesperson earlier today. Again, we're going to come back to that in a minute. Something very, very cool coming out of today is the Aviation Merit Badge Digital Resource Guide. That is an online resource guide full of all kinds of multimedia elements. We'll have a little more on that later today up on Aaron on Scouting's blog, but we have a super cool guest to actually get to talk about this with. I am talking about an eagle. Come on and check it out. Hello, Lincoln. How are you today? Fascinating. So what in Scouting America, what led us to, spread our wings and go ahead and fly into the Avian Merit Badge Digital Resource Guide? You heard it, folks. Any more to add to that? And then for the folks at home who are, my apologies, sir. For the folks at home who are hoping to be an eagle themselves one day, any advice? I mean, insightful. You heard it right from an eagle's mouth himself. He's a man of few words, but when he says something, it definitely counts. Thank you so much, Lincoln. Is there anything we've missed? Anything else you want to share with the folks at home? I'm over here, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you, everybody at the American Eagle Foundation. The team here has been so wonderful in accommodating this for us. Thank you, Rin. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
We're happy to be here.
Fantastic job. Everybody, we are going to go to, Aaron got to catch up with David Montgomery a little bit earlier. We got to hear him live. Now is your chance, an exclusive interview with David Montgomery. Let's go over to that now.
Hey everybody, we're here at the 2025
Great job.
National Annual Meeting with David Montgomery, NFL running back and official spokesman of Scouting America. Thanks so much for being here, David. We appreciate it. I just want to ask you a few questions real quick. One of the things that we talk about in scouting a lot is building toughness, resiliency. You told me a story a while ago about one time when you got on a skateboard. You remember that? It was the first time you've been on a skateboard. It didn't go well. But because you were a scout, you got the support that you needed to get back up and go again. I would love it if you could talk about how that's applied to your career as a pro. You suffered an injury this year, missed a few games. Can you talk about, did scouting help you get through that at all and what that process was like?
Yeah, for sure. I like to say scouting is the foundation that kind of created that door of opportunity for me to realize that when you fall, it's easy for you to get back up if you just attempt to get up, right? So I think just being able to credit scouts and allowing scouting and the things and the experiences that I kind of taken from it has, catapulted me in my career to believe and allow me to know that I can be exactly who I think I can be and even better than that. So I definitely attest that to scouting.
Yeah, excellent. Injury news for people like us in the NFL. We don't always know what we're getting exactly. We thought maybe you were done for the year. But you came back and played. What was that like to be back with your teammates and get back on the field there towards the end?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an experience. It takes a lot of focus and it takes a lot of resiliency to be able to go back out after being injured and having false speculations on what it is or what it isn't. So me finding out that I had time and I had a chance to come back, I took it very serious and I hit rehab pretty tough and I was able to go back out with the guys who played.
The NFL's tough. Yeah. Only one team at the end of the year gets to say they accomplished the ultimate goal, right? So when you come up a little bit short, you guys had a great season. I know the goal was to win the Super Bowl, right? Is that something when you come up short that pushes you as you go forward? Are you thinking about that as you go forward? Or is it more like last year was last year, let's put that behind us? As we go into the offseason, you said you're in OTAs right now.
Yeah.
What's your focus right now?
Yeah, I'm a pretty right now, like be where my feet are kind of guy. So I kind of let things be what they are. I mean, the past is the past. I can't control or change anything about it. So the only focus now is, performing at the best of my ability and, preparing myself daily to be at optimal shape so that I can perform the way that I need to.
Awesome, awesome. I'm going to consult my phone real quick here because I have some questions from my teammates. David, can you talk about being an Eagle Scout? That's a big moment. As an NFL player, you play in big games. How did being an Eagle Scout and that process, becoming an Eagle Scout, help prepare you to play in big games in the NFL, playoff games, games that decide like division titles and things like that?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just the simplicity and understanding that like the moment's never too big, and understanding that I can correlate scouting and sports hand in hand, how much something as simple as, building a fire, or something as team bonding and talking to my other scouts can help me on the field also. So I think for the moments that seem big or seem loud or seem pressurized, it gives me an option and an opportunity to kind of sit in it and remiss and understand that, hey, this moment's for me. I've been here before. It may not have been with the helmet on and the ball in my hand, but I've been here before. So it prepares me for moments like that so I can be, proactive opposed to reactive.
That's great. That's great. Is there anything that you learned as a scout, like a single lesson that you still remember today? Building a fire, building a Prima Derby car, anything that really kind of sticks with you?
Yeah, I think for me is the discipline and the preparation so when I was in scouting, I actually missed one of my merit badges and I had to do it over. It was personal fitness. And I thought since I was so good at fitness, I didn't have to prepare for it. But I wasn't hitting my marks. And when I went to turn in my car, they marked it as incomplete, and it killed me. Just because I don't like things being incomplete. But the lesson that I learned was, hey, even if you feel like you're optimal or the best, shape or way that you should be in order for you to feel like you can shortcut stuff, it always catches you at the end. So just preparing myself in a manner to where I can be ready for whatever it is and not relying on my ability and who I am to kind of secrete what I think the result may be. It helped me and it taught me a lot, and it correlates and it translates to the game and to my life.
Yeah, that's great. My last question, David, another big thing in scouting is leadership. Being a leader, you're a senior patrol leader, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And, as an NFL player, you're expected to be a leader in the locker room. I think you're proud to be a leader in the community. Did scouting help prepare you to be a leader now as a grown man out in the world?
For sure, definitely. Scouting it helped me, tenfold, and the things that I learned in scouting, I try to implement in who I am on the field, but who I am as a father daily too. So being able to kind of use scouting as a resource for me to kind of show my son how things should be done and how to, operate as a good human being. I can only attest that to scouting, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to be a part of such a great organization and a brotherhood, sisterhood, so that we can thrive, and I can thrive to be, the best human that I can be.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the time today, David. Really appreciate it. It's great to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I do not think it is a stretch to say the two coolest Eagles we've gotten to talk to are David Montgomery and Lincoln. If you don't know what I'm talking about because you just tuned in, make sure after we are live in just a second to rewind this video and watch from the beginning. It's been a really exciting day at National Annual Meeting here in Orlando, Florida so far, but we are only midday, so more news is going to be rolling out today, and we'll be live again tomorrow to keep you updated on everything here at NAM. That's National Annual Meeting. See you next time.